Hello, we're still here, by the way. That is one of his potential issues, but one of the upsides to Jugger is I think this hero is really strong when he's playing with tanky frontliners, right? And you've got those in spades. You've got Kunkka, Centaur, you've got Necrophos. Healing Ward has incredible value in a game like this, in theory. Then it's about whether you can keep it alive, because you're playing as Support Weaver. This hero has an ability to, you know, get to where the Healing Ward is, kill it, and maybe time-lapse out, which honestly you don't mind expending your time-lapse for that as a Support Weaver, right? That's okay. Killing Healing Ward is massively impactful for the side of Falcons this game.
What about the next level strat though, Cinderin? Healing Ward, and then you sprout it. They can't see it.
Oh, yeah. You could do that.
I mean, you actually could do it. You know, everyone's trying to Quelling Blade to get out of the sprout. No one thinks to get into the sprout to kill the Healing Ward that are hidden in there.
That is true.
You know what I mean? This is some big level stuff. We might see it happen.
Yeah, I've seen some of the builds you do on heroes. I'm not surprised you came up with this idea. It sounds doable, but really weird. That's how you build every hero.
Anyway, it actually work. Anyway,
it could work. I want to highlight one more thing about the matchups in this game, because I'm very familiar with this one personally. Kunkka against Lifestealer sucks. It's a really bad lane.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious how Tundra are going to handle that problem. I think the lane matchup of the Kunkka Nature's Prophet against Lifestealer Grimstroke is borderline unwinnable to me. So the question is, what are they going to do about it? Are they going to send the Nature's Prophet to try to help a lot in mid and bottom to try to alleviate pressure there? Or are they actually going to find a way of solving this top lane? I personally think Kasane has the hardest game out of anyone here.
Oh, this is looking like a First Blood right here. Whitemon able to set it with a hoof stomp onto Snake King. First Blood's going to go the way of Tomato.
And the rune split is 3 for 1. So 3 of them going the way of Falcons. Generally consider this a roughly even trade, right? You get 200 more gold than the enemy team from the bounty, but they got the First Blood and experience. Actually, fairly even is a bit untrue. This is a win for Tundra, overall. The experience also coming in handy there when you get that First Blood experience. It's 100 experience, split it 5 ways here. Yeah, I'm keeping my eyes on top for a bit, because I think the first couple of ways for Kunkka are the best ones. When Lifestealer hits level 3, this starts getting really nasty. And his lane partner's Grimstroke, you're going to have to deal with Inkswell as well.
Super strong.
But yeah, right in the beginning, this is fine. I'm looking to maybe learn some tips and tricks here from how Kasane handles this later down the road. But for now, this is going to be fine for them. The mid lane matchup, I would assume, is very Necro favored. Just instinctively, you're playing against the melee hero. The way Pango usually fares in lanes is that he can like spam harass with Swashbuckle, use it to take range creeps, but Necro isn't going to care. He's going to out-heal everything you do. So I would imagine Bryle is just hands down winning this lane. And the bot lane, Jug, Centaur, kind of a weird one, honestly, this lane when you look at it. Weaver should be very safe here, of course, but yeah, probably just trading farm bottom is reasonable expectation here.
No, for sure. And for Amar, obviously we're still in the draft, you know, many bans being thrown the way of his position. Do you think he's ended up happy with what he's been allowed to pick this game, the Brew in this situation?
I'll say it this way, it's Amar playing Brew, so he's going to buy Midas and he's going to go max Fire Form and hit stuff, because that's how he plays Dota. I was surprised to see him run this. I'm not sure how much he's been running Brew in general. It's not a hero I at all connect with this player. But obviously you're going to have to branch out, right? You can't keep playing the same heroes all the time if they're not strong enough, or the enemy team, like you said, is banning them. So yeah, curious to see his performance here.
And what? Yeah, looking at the Jug build, so it is still the Battle Fury route you go. I
think so. Yeah, I think the way Jugger remains relevant, he has to play like a greedy melee core, even though the hero has this fighting element to it that you can take advantage of with the Healing Ward. You need to cover your bases, because if you don't go Battle Fury, you pigeonhole yourself into like a very narrow timing where if anything goes wrong, you just lose all momentum in the game. So I definitely think it's just a gimme here to go Butterfly. It's just sort of Battle Fury,
exciting to see, right? Because is there any other carry right now that is going Battle Fury as an item?
Anti-Mage?
That's right, okay. Anti-Mage always buys Battle Fury, but outside of sort of that, it's just not an item that you're really picking a carry to buy, right?
Right.
So it's quite unique.
It might also be one of the reasons that Jugger isn't so popular is exactly that he has to do that, whereas some of the other melee carries can go other items and have a faster impact. I guess another hero that comes to mind that you could compare it with would the Faceless Void, who doesn't go Battle Fear, but rather goes like either Maelstrom build or something like that to keep his farm up. But Jugger just really, he farms a lot faster with Battle Fear than he does with Maelstrom. So the hero takes advantage of really good base attack time. So you clear camps really fast with Cleave, and Mana Region's very nice on him too.
I'm going to see the TP over from Snaking towards the mid to try and help Marine against Brawl. He was beginning to dive in. Brawl's also going to receive backup from Immersion. Swashbuckle from Marine comes across the two of them. Put the Mango, another shield crash. They're going to be able to come out on top of this trade. They'll take down Brawl first. Immersion, he'll have to TP out of that one. So good response, Snaking, making sure that Brawl doesn't get away with that. Same time down bottom, an attempt for crit. They'll find it.
Unexpected kill there. But yeah, if you use Shukuchi offensively and then get caught by a stomp, you're definitely going to die. But not a lane I would expect to see a kill in on that particular hero. So well done there with Tundra on the punish, but just as good from Falcons. Getting the mid kill is huge here because, again, this Pango lane against Necro is going to become an absolute travesty for them if they don't help him out. And getting that rotation in from Snaking, in addition to Nature's Prophet rotating unsuccessfully, that's almost makes it a double win, right? Because you freed up the top lane a bit. Kasana doing quite well for himself, but I think now is when it's going to start getting difficult. With Lifestealer approaching the phase boots, he's going to constantly run at him and hit him. He's going to get probably 2 points in Ghoul Frenzy and just stick on the Kunkka in the lane.
And sort of to that note, is that necessarily going to mean that Immersion might have to stick around in this lane more so than he really wished to as a Prophet?
See, that's what I was wondering, but I honestly think the way these first few waves, which is where Kunkka has the best chance in this lane, they have gone so well for Kasana that Immersion might have the luxury of playing up here very little. I still stand by. I think Kasana is going to end up losing the lane eventually, but he's doing so well for himself that this might just be good enough.
In the bottom lane, Crit trying to make the aggressive move again over towards Whitemon. Whitemon desperately trying to get the bugs off him, can't do so in time. Whitemon goes down, Immersion TP's over, both Crit and Amar incredibly low. Crit's going to be fine as he Shukuchi's off into the tree line, and by looks of it, Amar's going to be able to walk out of this one alive as well. So unfortunately there for Tundra, another situation, and for Immersion in particular, trying to make these moves with the Prophet, but not quite getting away with getting anything in return.
It's kind of ironic, right, that there's been 4 kills in the game, and we talk about Nature's Prophet being this early lane game dominator, and he seems to be the only one not involved in kills on the side of Tundra so far. So he is showing up to the right plays, and I would argue it's at the right time, but just unfortunately just a little bit short both times. Mid lane could be a potential play here. Malrine has hit level 6 and Snaking is thinking about it.
And trying to set up here with the Ink Swell.
Nice reaction for Brawl though.
Backs off just in time, and he himself does have the 2 support backup on the side of Tundra.
Power in. Well, got a Malrine. It's a haste. Opens up some potential play for the Pango. Actually immediately going to put it to use here and rush up top. Yeah, Kasana is in big trouble here.
He's going to be able to get the torrent down onto the Weaver, holding back Crypt for now, but deep with the Rolling Thunder coming in, Marine easily able to find the angle onto the both of them, comes crashing through twice to take down Kasane and both Immersion. Falcon making quick moves, and Marine, great stuff here with the first power in.
Yeah, you cannot wish for more impact out of your mid Pango than this minute 6 in this lane matchup. This is actually a full-on dream beginning for that hero, considering he laned against Necro. He will lose half his tower. Of course, nothing comes for free in Dota. It's always a game of trade-offs, but yeah, if I'm Malrine right now, I'm completely stoked with how well this early game has gone. Time for Wisdom Runes. Always keep an eye on that with Nature's Prophet.
On the bottom, you know, Amar knows his limits. He knows he can trade with them, and the two of them aren't going to have anywhere to sort of stop him going for those TP out plays. We'll see in terms of Wisdom Runes. Crit was able to take it away from Tundra, and of course Immersion was able to TP over and take Falcons away from them.
Yeah, it was a good attempt there from Kasane to try to hit a Torrent on the Weaver and then get their own Wisdom Rune as well, but the 1-for-1 trade does happen. Would have been huge for Tundra to get both of those, of course, especially as we've already covered Immersion. His levels aren't looking too hot. He just got the Wisdom Rune and gets level 4 at 730, so quite a lot of ground to cover here. Look to the enemy supports. Weaver's almost 5, Grimace 5.5, and your own Centaur only level 4.5, so a decent experience advantage on the supports, and we know those early level 6s can make a pretty big difference.
It's a bit of an awkward move here, really, from Tundra. I think Kasane, they wanted to try and approach mid, see if they could get a setup around the boat, secure Brawl, a scythe kill, but as it is, Falcons See how set up they are for this. In terms of the 8-minute power rune, it's going to end up being up on the top side, so nothing for Marine to find yet. There's 4 heroes surrounding him. It doesn't matter though. He's able to pop the Rolling Thunder, take out Immersion. I mean, Tundra, can they do anything in return here? Brow's going to have his eyes on Marine. Marine even thinking about going up to the high ground for Whitemon, but he will hold back. Just once again, that Falcons seeming to be a step ahead of Tundra. Tundra trying to make some sort of move, but it's just not happening for them.
Yeah, this Pango is a really big problem for their lineup if he has a good start, right? They don't have heroes that deal with it. They don't have really good hard lockdown. They don't have any silences, so he's playing with a lot of freedom in the fights. They tried to X-Mark Torrent combo him, but he just got off the Rolling Thunder and didn't care. So yeah, another unsuccessful rotation there from the side of Tundra.
I mean, they're really trying to find something mid, but as soon as that sort of comes to an end, they're straight back around this mid tower, looking to see if they can get some sort of catch against Falcons.
And we'll get a ward kill, so some sort of kill. But yeah, not the best here, really.
I mean, they got the 4 heroes here, basically.
Yeah, they're making some big rotations, and of course, the trade-off for this is that your supports end up being under-leveled. So Whitemon just cracked 5, Immersion still just barely level 4. Gonna have to find some sort of an entry into this eventually on both heroes. Like Stampede we've covered, it's a very important spell in this game. It's gonna come in very late. The Nature's Prophet ult can be the difference maker in these kills for the Necrophos to be able to get the scythe off. You're very far off on that, and as a result, Immersion's just going to start jungling here, right? Farming a big camp, it's going to take a little bit of time, not putting his Urn to any use right now. And to return to that top lane we covered earlier, Kazan is now losing heavily, and this is what is eventually going to happen.
Bottom, they try for a Mar, they'll get the scythe in, but he's hit the 6.
Oh dear.
He's got the split. And again, unfortunately for Tundra, just not finding the action. Amar even able to sort of throw the Brewlings in, get some damage done, and just scaring off the 4 of them single-handedly. They're even going to have a bit of setup. I mean, they are considering bringing more down here, but no, they'll just hold back from Bryle. But again, it's just more time in which Tundra seemingly unable to make any sort of move against Falcons in this early game.
And the biggest winner in the entirety of this time frame is going to be the Lifestealer, who just is playing completely uncontested. Kunkka can't do anything to him. So Skitter is farming every wave, every big camp, and every small camp, constantly. So building a really big net worth advantage over the Jug.
Good sidestep here from Bryle. Should keep him safe enough. Instant TPs. I mean, Tomato's also joining the action now around the mid. They should have the timing here to drag him back. They do. Straight into the torrent, but the swashbuckle's there. Marine, he's going to opt for the TP out, but the Omni Slash will come in clutch to make sure that the damage is done to this time allow them to finally kill that Pangolier. Takes a lot, though.
Yeah, that was a very major rotation, but well worth it. Especially getting the kill on the Jugger is very nice for them. He's starting to... I mean, he's not going to catch up to Lifestealer anytime soon, but at the very least progressing a little bit here from that kill bounty. And the mid tower too, so, you know.
Whitemon.
He went too deep.
He certainly did. Chris just able to turn and take him out. Tomato and Immersion not able to do anything to stop that. It did look like they had some sort of catch and setup onto Crit, but of course once he turns and starts punching into you as a Centaur, you're not a hero that has a lot of armor. You go down pretty quickly, especially when you're on the support Centaur.
Yeah, and Crit as the support Weaver is obviously... He's itemized quite right-click heavy, right?
Yep.
It's 2 Wraithbands and a Blightstone, and now he's going to go for the Solar Crest, so... He himself can pose a real threat, especially to enemy supports. Weaver is actually a terrifying matchup for Nature's Prophet to play support versus support.
I mean, for both of the supports, right?
Yeah.
Centaur low armor and Prophet for the reasons you're saying.
Yeah, Centaur at the very least has the Stampede option, right, for himself. And I guess you could argue he could use it for the Prophet as well, but you don't really want to use Stampede to escape a Weaver for either of them, right? Bryle's in trouble.
Marine is going to get put to a stop there. Doesn't initially get the Rolling Thunder off because of the Hoot Stomp, but it doesn't matter. He'll still find it the second time round. Tomato's in with the Blade Fury. They'll drop the Scythe onto Crit. They'll settle for the Weaver kill. See if they can get anything more. They're going to continue to try and chase down Snaking.
Did I see that right? Was that a 5-man fight from Tundra minute 12?
I think it was. They have pretty much everyone in the mid. They might get Snaking on top of this. They do. Hoot Stomp's there, but the Primal splits out from Amar. Get the pullback onto Whitemon. He'll look to try and chase down the Centaur. Brawl turns up at the heels, attempting to keep Whitemon alive, but Amar will still manage to get the kill. See if they can find Amar as the split comes to an end. Tomato trying to get into position. Amar, he's going to be perfectly fine. He's under the tower, holds back Bryle. He'll get the kill. He'll get away. 7-5, 2K lead continues, and yeah, Skeeter just having a beautiful PvE time on that top lane. Completely uncontested. It's going to be an extremely quick armlet into Nullify rush this game for this Lifestealer.
Yep. And that poses some serious trouble for the Necrophos, right? Because I think Lifestealer can actually kill you with an Inkswell and nothing else. And you can't really do much about it. I guess a clean Stampede maybe can help Necrophos get out. But a really big part of picking this hero and obviously running it the way Tundra are trying to in this game is being able to play fearless, right? And that is just not going to be the case in this game. Immersion will get caught out.
I mean, maybe they can get something in return here. Bryle and Tomato heading over to try and chase out the supports of Falcons. The soul point on the two of them, but Marion's in with a backup. They jump forward with the Omni Slash, but at this point, not an incredible amount of damage coming out from the Jug. Snaking still falling low to the damage to the Blade Fury. Stick charges are there. The Stunner holds them back, but the Stampede will be popped to make sure they at least get Snaking. Marion and Crit, on the other hand, though, they'll be perfectly fine.
Oh, this is a really big find here from Skitter. He will get X,
no, but they're going to be able to drag him back with the X. The Rage is going to come to an end. The drag back is there. They'll have the boat coming in. Skeeter, he'll toggle the armlet on. I don't think there's any way out of this for him unless he gets some sort of backup, but there's no backup coming. Ooh, wait, what? Is he actually going to live?
He is good for now.
He's going to live. All right.
Oh, boy.
Okay, that's got to hurt.
That's got to hurt.
He turns up, he gets your Wisdom. They've got another X-Mark, but he's got Infest.
Oh, that's clean, though.
Oh, they'll get him.
Wow, really well
they
played
needed
by
that
Kasane.
kill. If that kill slipped away from them, that would have been pretty brutal for Tundra.
Such a nice X pullback there before he got the Infest off. That was very close, like less than half a second away from escaping through a creep there. But okay, at the very least for Tundra there,
they needed that
massive rotation. They chased him for like half a minute and lost both Wisdom Runes, but they do get the big kill. And they get it on Bryle as well, which is really nice for him. He got it with the Heartstop Aurora. And probably getting the tower too, so I mean, not all that bad. Losing the second Wisdom Rune like this obviously hurts a lot, but the Lifestealer kill is very big. All right, Amar looking to put some pressure bot. Actually, White Monster's super toast
They've got TPs up, so TP backup will be on its way here for Tundra, but not before Whitemon gets taken down. They'll get the drag back onto Marine into the Torrent. Tomato's in with the Blade Fury. Marine tries to swashbuckle into the Rolling Thunder, but the damage is done. They take out Marine. So if they can find more from this, Amar having to use the split to retreat. But another good kill here from Tundra. Getting down to the bottom lane, punishing the Pangolier. Can close the gap onto Snaking. Brow trying his best. They've got the TP forward from Emerge. They should be able to get this one, and in fact, they'll get a side stack as well. Bryle puts an end to Snaking's life. Tundra starting to get the moves that they've been hunting for in this early game.
Exactly. It's starting to really make a big difference because these early 4 or 5 man rotations that they made that failed and didn't bear any fruit, these previous couple ones, they're finding big kills every time right now. And sure, you're bringing 4 or 5 heroes, but as long as you kill at least one core and don't really lose any ground in the process around the map, it's probably worth it at this point, right? Because effectively, you've brought Bryle up to top net worth with these moves, with 4 of the kills on him. And I think, as we covered with the Lifestealer doing this well, it's very important that Necrophos keeps a very high net worth here, or he can just become food.
Bottom lane, they know that Amar, he's got the split on cooldown. This is the time to punish him. Immersion turns up with that newly picked up Spirit Vessel, lays down a charge onto Amar. Tomato comes in for the finishing blow. Another big kill here for Tundra, really starting to get some momentum back under their wings and leveling up the scoreboard pretty much 10-9. Very close to starting to get the net worth lead in their favor. Battle Fury, it's done.
Yeah, this is a really good timing in general for their lineup. You know, you're looking at the other side. Lifestealer is not strong yet. He's waiting on that key item. You've got the Brewmaster who went Midas into Sacred Relic, so he's missing his timing for now, right? Like, the Dire team, Falcons just need like a couple more minutes to get there and get all of their things online, and you can try to punish that really hard as Tundra right now by using your Kunkka Axe that you just picked up. You've got, you know, the Nature's Prophet rotation, as you mentioned, with the Vessel, which is very powerful in this moment. These next 5 to 10 minutes, I would love to see Tundra just play like super aggressively around the map, just really take initiative and not let Falcons get comfortable. Because ultimately, when the Radiance is up on Brew and Lifestealer has the Nullifier, their game plan gets a lot easier to execute. Actually gonna make a move themselves here. A little bit surprised to see this smoke at this point from Falcons coming out. Lifestealer this close to... Actually, did he just get the Nullifier?
It should be on the way
it's on the
out.
courier.
Yeah, it's on the way.
It checks out then. Then it makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Okay. Getting delivered as they gate to bot. Might just find us a little Whitemon snack here. Well, who's finding who, really?
Because Tundra themselves, they do have fair few around. Whitemon, he's going to be able to react straight away with a Who Stomp. Torrent to follow up onto Snaking. Malorine will turn his attention over towards Immersion. Skeeter pops out. Malorine's actually going to bail out here. Actually cancels the TP, decides to stick around a little bit longer. They'll get the kill on Immersion, but they do lose Snaking themselves. 1 for 1. Prowl trying with the chase down over towards Crit. Amara is here, and Split is back up. A bit of a juke around the trees.
Really
Finally,
awkward.
They catch wind of one another. As Amara, he's going to lead in with the Split. Going to try for Bryle. He's got backup. He's able to jump up to the high ground. Skeeter is in with the rage and the nullify down on a Bryle. Bryle will fall. The sight not enough to kill off Crit. Skeeter, he'll get Whitemon on top of it. The Blade Fury, so the Omni Slash is there, but it's pretty split the damage. Still, Skeeter, he'll be the one to find a second. As that was the fight they were hoping for, turning up with the Lifestealer with his newly found nullifier. Getting 2 kills, maybe more. They dive the tower, in onto Tomato. He's out of mana. Skeeter should be able to take out another one. They'll try and top him up with the Lotus, but it's not enough. He's gone. Triple kill for Skeeter. It's a team wipe. Falcons, they turn up and do exactly what they hoped to with the nullifier rush on this Lifestealer.
I mean, this is just textbook using your timing, right? This item makes every difference in that moment. If they don't have this nullifier and they make the smoke play, I don't even know if they win the fight, but with this one item, they're able to just absolutely assassinate Bryle here in the river. He even has an arcane rune and almost his completed heart, right? This hero is usually, in this point in time, is very tanky and hard to deal with, but immediately Lifestealer connects on him and kills him in like 4 hits here. Just look at this, just absolutely wailing away at him. Did he even have Rum buff there? I think he might have even had Rum buff. Still just, maybe he didn't. He just died way too fast to even notice.
And unfortunately for Tomato at this point, on his side of things, you know, he's got the Battle Fury, but still going to take a fair few items on top of that until his Omni Slashes are really going to threaten the lineup of Falcons. Takes time here with the Juggernaut and time that Falcons are not going to want to give Tundra.
Oh, and yeah, well, we talked about this pre-game about Jug and this hero being momentum-based. What do you do now, right? You're 6th on net worth as carry Jug. This hero is not a 6th on net worth hero, I'll tell you that.
It's rough.
He wants to be top 3, if not absolutely #1. And of course, every hero wants to be #1, but this hero needs it more so than a lot. And covering this distance to the Lifestealer is going to be really, really difficult. And he's their only true hope of killing the Lifestealer as well, right? We talked about that in the draft. They're kind of grasping at straws for, okay, what carries left in the pool that we can deal with this Lifestealer with. Jug was the choice, but just really not getting there right now. This is a very difficult Sonnet, by the way.
Yeah, it's just go for Falcons. Straight in onto the Kunkka. Not a chance. As Falcons, they can absolutely kill whoever they want to go for at this point.
The map is actually just completely falling apart. I think Grimstroke plus Lifestealer infested into any hero can just run around the map as they please and kill anyone they see. Skitter! They got the stun.
They do indeed. The stun's there just in time. Bryle's escape put to a stop. This is all happening very, very fast now. Tundra losing control. And it's going to be so difficult to regain it. It's just, as you say, sort of with Jug in the position that he is. You know, when was the last time we saw a Jug from behind be able to turn around and carry a game?
When was the last time we saw a Jug?
Yeah, it's tough. It's not an easy life here for Tomato.
Yeah, I do think this build that he has planned now is probably the best one he can get. Going Manta, he needs some sort of way of creating some space in the fight for himself and dispelling. And then going straight for Butterfly, probably the best 1v1 item against Lifestealer, which again is his job in this game, is to try to deal with him. The problem is Skitter is just going to itemize like this, right? He's queuing up an Axe, and whenever he feels in trouble, he can just infest the Jugger. So, yeah, tough times for Tundra. BKB completed on the Lifestealer as well. Skitter understands that he can, as long as he's magic immune, he's actually invincible in this game right now. So he's just going to pop his Rage, go in, and then when he wants his next target, he can just pop the BKB, and then his Rage is almost going to be up again. So, very, very difficult. It's crazy sometimes how fast a Dota game can change, right? Like 5 minutes ago, this looked quite decent for Tundra. It's just, those 5 minutes almost went from quite close to borderline hopeless. Like, it's quite incredible.
Yeah, I mean, the game just exploded.
This one sequence just really changed things.
When you have what the Radiance Brew, the Nullifier Lifestealer, that's all that Falcons were waiting for. Now they're well and truly online. Something that Tundra really going to struggle to get to themselves this game.
Amar has 2 Midas charges.
Oh.
That's not an Amar thing, man.
Get out of that pit.
Ew.
Go and eat a creep right now.
What is
He's chilling, you know, he's giving a bit of mercy to the opponents. He's like, you know what, this game's in the bag. I don't want to be too farmed. He's merciful.
See how fast he burns these. Okay, okay. He's like, oh man, got 2. Instantly uses them both. And closes in on what seems to be an Octarine build. Not a game where Brewmaster necessarily needs a defensive item, which is quite the luxury to have, not having to buy like a Lotus or a BKB to guarantee that you get your stuff off. Can just straight up maximize the impact of his Midas and of his Primal Split cooldown. And keep the ball rolling. I think if you're Tundra right now, you're in this awkward position where you kind of need to wait for Jugger to maybe get this butterfly, but at the same time, any move around the map is very difficult because nobody in your team is safe. The big boys that you picked, this tanky lineup, really getting just chewed through by the Lifestealer. And if he's missing on the map, you don't feel safe. He could be infested in a Weaver that's all of a sudden on top of you. He could be infested in a Pango. And of course, Inkswell will be that X factor. This bot tier 2 tower is just gone. I don't think you can even think of contesting this as Radiant. You just have to let Lifestealer solo it. Whitemon, he's dead.
They're going to try and make this move top. On towards Crit, but it is just a support Weaver. And one of that they won't even be able to find. Crit. It's out of the way. They're even TPing over, trying to block off his escape. It's a lot of effort put into trying to find this pesky Weaver. But they're struggling. They've got a Torrent out, but Crit, he knows the perfect spot. He's out of there. And unfortunately for Tundra, it's just further time wasted. Or maybe, I mean, they're still trying. Can they kill him? They've got the dust. They will.
Okay.
They'll finally take him down, but it takes so much. And it gives so much space, of course, the Falcons elsewhere on the map, pushing in on towards the tier 2 down the mid.
I wonder how long that kill took. It was well over 30 seconds, right? I think so. And yeah, tier 2 is gone, but that one was falling anyway, right? So with that perspective, like this tower was dead, you at least get a kill, you maybe get to push out a little bit on the waves and buy yourself some time for the jug, so. We'll also reap themselves a Tormentor here. We'll go to Tomato the Shard, so. Let's remind ourselves, giving you more move speed during Blade Fury and allowing you to get attacks off, which is, you know, it's a pretty decent shard if you have the right items for it, which he doesn't yet. What were the alternatives? Who else could have even got it? I guess the Centaur was the only other player that didn't have it, and that one would have been worse, so I think Tundra probably pretty happy with that one.
Also Tundra, they really want Crit. They got him the once. I don't think they're going to get him the twice. TP backup's coming in. In fact, Crit's considering turning. He's going to have the backup of snaking with the Inkswell. It's going to be Falcons ending up getting the kill. As you know, even if they do get Crit in these sort of situations, I don't think Falcons care too much. As Amar, he's having all the time, you know, the time of his life really. He's managed to put a stop to Bryle's escape once more. They have to stampede. From up in the air, Maori's coming in with a backup. The two of them can really play around with this Necrophos. There's even further backup coming in. Skeeter's ready to head over. The Nullifier's laid down on towards Bryle. Trying to use that extra bit of movement speed here from the bots to get away, but Skeeter's in on top of him. Bryle will fall. As Kasani, see if he can get at himself. I mean, Maori's able to block him off with the swashbuckle jump forward. Amar sends him back up into the air. Buys time for Crit and Skeeter to close in on him. Jump forward up to the high ground with the swashbuckle and the shield crash onto not only Kasani, but Immersion as well. Soulbind's out, linking the two of them. It just doesn't stop here for Falcons as Tundra continue to crumble.
That was honestly just an exceptionally beautiful setup play from Amar and Melreen there. I think everything about this is just so clean. Like, the communication to recognize that you can make this play while your nearest teammate is like 4,000 range away, and you get this close to the enemy base, is really knowing the limits of what you can get away with here. And it turns into a really crazy chase, but at no point in this does it feel like Falcons are in any danger, despite their Brew ult almost running out here, the Lifestealer having used in his Rage. There's just, again, where's the damage from Tundra, right? Juggernaut just isn't ready yet. And they will use this to punish them to the maximum extent. They get a full mid lane here, as well as the bottom tier 3 before finally backing off.
That's rough. I mean, during that fight as well, Crit was able to treat himself to finishing off the Deso. So they have that extra pushing power coming in from the Weaver as well. smoke up from Tundra. They've got to try some drastic measures to get back in on this one. Looking to join up with Tomato. He's close to his... In fact, the butterfly's on its way out. Has managed to finish his item.
Oh, Malrine breaks the smoke. Gets full info. Doesn't get caught. Okay, they still get the jump, actually.
They should get snaking. They certainly will. At the same time, Falcons, they will not be afraid to fight 4 versus 5. Amar, he'll just walk straight into this one, pop the split, he's ready to go. The Omni Slash comes out, but it passes very unfortunately over towards, I believe, one of the ancient creeps. So not exactly what Tomato was hoping for there. Brawl is completely gone upon by Skeeter with a BKB and the Nullifier. It's 3 dead, soon to be 4. They get the setup with a Rolling Thunder from Marine over towards Kasane. 4 dead. Tomato, the last one left alive, and probably not for long. Crit, Marine, they're chasing him down. There's not much left for Tomato to do here, as this is going to be Falcons getting the team wipe against Tundra. This one may be over pretty soon, Sind, if it's not already.
Yeah, and that honestly, that was going to be the fight that if anything brings Tundra back in the game, it's that one. That was the Juggernaut Butterfly reveal. They make the smoke, they get the first pick onto Grim, but the disadvantage is just too big right now. Just raw numbers, Lifestealer just stands his ground. If they get Brew split off, Tundra can't really deal with this. They don't have enough in the tank to kill these heroes off. The Lifestealer pick just proved to be absolutely perfect. I think there was no better hero in the pool that Falcons could have possibly taken at the time they did. And Tundra, with the adjustments that they tried to find in the draft, just haven't really worked. And at this point, this top tier 2 is definitely falling. I don't think you're contesting that one whatsoever. Your Jugger doesn't have Omni Slash when he respawns, so he's going to be hitting like a wet noodle to just give away this one. And really, if you rewind this a little bit and you think back on the draft, how early the Necrophos got picked, the Lifestealer even served the purpose of countering this guy heavily too. So he was a great pick defensively and offensively at the same time, being able to kill these tanky heroes in the Centaur, Kunkka, as well as the Necrophos, and having an amazing defensive rage game against Kunkka, against the Necro, and against the Centaur. Funnily enough, against the same 3 heroes. So, just really want to commend Falcons on the way they built this lineup and the order they picked it in, and the curveball with the Amar Brewmaster has been working really, really well this game. So, great stuff from them.
Tundra.
Oh, the bash!
It's there. Puts the stop to Kasane's escape. Tomato will manage to Blade Fury and TP out himself. Kasane's going down.
Malrine was hoping to get a secondary bash over there on the Jug. If he would have got that right after proccing bash and then fighting into a butterfly, honestly, they might have called GG if the Jug.
They're going to try and see if they can burst through the Lifestealer with the side.
Okay.
They can. A big catch here for Tundra. Currently playing 21k down. They get the kill. Skeeter's gone, snaking as well. Mallory's going to try and see what he can do pretty much on his own against the 4 of them. He's buying time for the remaining Falcons to turn up. You know, Amar and Crit are here to fight as well. The Sprout, hold back Amar for now. Tomato is falling very low on mana, almost completely out. Jump forward from Malrine. I mean, even with 2 dead, Falcons might still be able to make something happen here. The swashbuckle out of the 2 of them, but the Sprout's back up. Malrine, he's going to opt for the TP out. He's got no further place to play in this team fight. He's away. And Tomato does stay alive. Despite being out of mana, they couldn't get the damage done. The evasion from the Butterfly definitely helping out to make sure that Amar on his own can't deal with the Juggernaut. So Tundra, keeping things alive here.
It's quite telling that Falcons feel like they can fight there, right? It really shows you how they interpret the game state. They have a dead carry and a dead position 5, and they still wanted to run in and fight them 3-on-5 with the rest of the stuff they had.
And they still want to. We'll see Falcons now starting to come in with the respawns. They get the Swashbuckle Bash onto Immersion. They'll turn around with the Sprout, but Crit should be able to come in and make sure he picks up a Deso stack. BKB also done now for Crit. Amar, 25 seconds until splits back up. Yeah, so incredibly beefy to go on, not really a target that Tundra's going to be able to take down anytime soon. Amar's free to walk wherever he wants.
Those were basically, let's keep in mind, those were basically the perfect conditions for Tundra, right? They found Lifestealer alone, so they got an Omni Slash on him. Jugger had DD, and they got Reaper off. So all those conditions combined allowed them to kill the Lifestealer. When those spells are on cooldown, they can't kill Lifestealer or Brew, right? If they don't have Omni and they don't have Reaper, I think Tundra should be happy with what they got there and try to set up similar conditions once again. And maybe there's a world where they could do it on the Brewmaster instead of the Lifestealer, because I think that's easier to execute, because you're going to at least catch the Brewmaster with your setup and your stuns, and then maybe try to burst him down and then deal with the Lifestealer down the stretch. Especially now, when he's getting an Aegis. You're not killing him twice. I just don't see it, so... Time for plan C, if you can call it that, maybe plan F for Tundra. Going straight down, quite far down the list of how they would have liked this to go. Let's see. Is there anything on the docket that could change things? So Kunkka's working on a Hex, which is very far away. Necrophos has been very quiet. Still only has the Heart Travels, just nothing really.
BKB's on
something coming out that will help. It's an item that you kind of have to buy because it's the only way you solve Nullifier, but it never feels good having to buy BKB's second item on Necrophos. Because sure, you might be able to stay alive, but are you going to be able to use it offensively, or are you just buying time to then eventually still get killed off when it runs out, is the question here. But I do think it was the best possible item Brawl could buy, so I agree with the choice. It's just... it's like the lesser evil, basically.
They're going to try and go again here, Tundra. Smoke up. Eyes on Amar. Do they want to see if they can burst through this brew? They'll try. Who's got to open things up? Have they got the damage? Side comes in. Torrent as well. They've done it. They're taking out Amar. We'll see what subsequently happens, though, because Falcons, they're still tempted to fight back 4 versus 5 here. They take out Whitemon. See what more they can find. Skeeter in over towards Brawl. Brawl pots the BKB. Will get away. Immersion will not be as lucky. He'll fall. They'll turn. Tomatoes attempting to fight back. They'll buy back with Immersion. Tundra, they know that this is potentially their chance to take even more here. As Skeeter gets pulled back by the tidal wave. Snaking's focused down. Tomato, he's got the triple. He's over towards Skeeter. Skeeter with a rage, attempting a man fight against Tomato, but he'll lose it the once. He's lost the Aegis. Tundra, they're setting up for round 2. Tomato in onto Skeeter. Have they got the control here to deal with this life stealer? Skeeter jumps in towards Marine, but the X-Mark perfectly done so. Over towards Marine, but it won't be able to drag him back, in fact.
I think it was on the Lifestealer, but
oh, it was on the Lifestealer, right?
Yeah,
He jumped in.
The visual of it follows the Pango, but he doesn't get pulled out.
So maybe if he'd gone for the Pango, might have been able to have a chance there. So
that
unfortunate.
That would have been a next level play, anticipating that he's
and that's
going
what
to
I expected, you know.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen.
I think maybe Malrine, first of all, Malrine there knows the X isn't on him, and if he knows that it is, there was still a potential roll-up dodge.
Oh, that's
so
true.
that wasn't even a guaranteed catch, but honestly, really well played by Tundra there, right? This is what we're talking about.
They're taking down these big targets.
I think what you need to do as Falcons now is you just need to not offer up either Brew or Lifestealer standing on their lonesome. I think if you protect these heroes with a little bit more, even if they're just next to each other, I think they both live, right? They just need to split the Omnislash and then get a little bit of help from a Grimstroke Dispel, and they're probably fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple of good finds for Tundra, at least keeping the game alive here. They didn't really gain much in the way of net worth, but you got to consider with the conditions that they had and that they were fighting into Aegis, that is pretty much as good as it's going to get there. Getting the Brew kill, getting the Aegis out of the hands of Skitter opens up for another possibility to maybe pull off the same play again.
Yeah, Skeeter, it's going to be a little harder to control now. He's got the, you know, something you don't see all the time, but obviously against what the Prophet, reason to get the Hurricane Pike on yourself, so you have a way to deal with the Sprout in the later stages.
It's one of those Reddit threads, you know, with guess the hero, and then you post this item build. It's
'cause you need something, right? You don't want to be sprouted 36 minutes into a game. And whether it's going to be sort of that or the Battle Fury, it's the Hurricane Pike.
Oh, boy.
Now, straight in onto Bryle. This time it's Falcons turn to try and burst through someone. Bryle, he's able to get the BKB up though. He'll actually manage to back off for now. Marine dealing with both Whitemon and Tomato. Comes crashing across with the Rolling Thunder. Bryle, he's going to head back over to see if he can help out Tomato. Tomato, see if he can get a chance to stand here. There's the Tornado coming out over towards the split. Tomato, he'll deal with some of the split from Amar, but the split now comes to an end. Amar and Skeeter, they're trying for Kasani, but Kasani Ogre Seals over to the side, continues to kite out Skeeter, pushing him back with the tidal wave. Kasani's able to TP out of this one. Tomato, he's been caught by the Phantom's Embrace, and now left on his own. Tomato, no hope for him this time round as he goes down. Falcons will take the fight.
Buybacks.
1,700 gold short on it here for Tomato. 1k gold short on it here for Bryle. They did spend up. And they'll call it. GG is called. Falcons will take game 1. And for the most part, pretty convincingly. A couple of moments where Tundra were able to punch back, but at the end of the day, they were playing from very, very far.